This Val-Con video is powered by GTX server hosting, the best way to run your Valheim server.
Now come along and join us at Val-Con.
Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. My name is Dev Rossick, and today we're playing Valheim, the survival and crafting game from Iron Game. We're back on the Vanillaheim server today. Last week we had a whole long session where we worked on building a bridge, and I'm going to show you an update a little bit later about where that bridge is. There's been a little bit of progress. But today, let's see if I can sleep until the next day. Today I wanted to start with a tour of the community village here on the Vanillaheim server. Many other members on Vanillaheim have worked very hard to build this community village. It looks great. Got a lot of nice facilities, and I want to show it off. Show you what you can get when you get into a good community with positive attitude. We're day 820. Not really that high, considering how active Vanillaheim was during the Val-Con 2026 in mid-April. So, just a quick look around the house. Nothing really has changed here, I think, since the last time we visited. It's the same, same old. Let's check in with Skippy. Oh, Skippy seems a little bit frightened or something. It's not a great face there, Skippy. Here. Feel better. Okay. So we're going to go through to the portal hub, which is located on one side of the community village, and we're going to see what we see there. Okay, here we are coming into the portal hub. This place is a really fun design. It's kind of like an arena, almost. A gladiatorial arena, perhaps? I'm not sure. But you can see it's got these different levels and sort of a spiraling design with all sorts of portals leading to all the various individual homes. And maybe in a future stream we might visit some of those homes. We'll just kind of go flying around down here. Now, a lot of different people worked on the creation of this village. And I'm frankly not sure who built what, when, or how. So I'm not going to name specific people because I'm afraid I'd be leaving somebody out who did a lot of hard work and they wouldn't get credit for it. Just know that lots of different people here on the server have contributed to this. I'm one of the people who probably has done the least work on the community site. I did do some of this roof here over the portal hub, but that's about the only thing that I've done inside the entire community build out. So everything you see here was done by other community members. And you don't have to be, some sort of master builder to do some really great stuff in Valheim. It kind of lends itself to being built in all sorts of different ways. So we've been having some problems with raids here in community, and very recently we've been getting this defensive wall built around it. I really like the look of this with those different heights and so forth, and the core wood mixed in with the stone is always attractive. I like that look. So that's lots of fun. And the way this is laid out, it kind of has different sections. I might almost say different lobes of the village are individually protected by different walls. So that's a different design. Many of my past communities I've been in, we tended to build one gigantic wall to cover the whole community. But this look is perhaps a little bit more authentic, if you will. I don't know if that's really the right term, but anyway. So up there on that higher ground is the portal hub, and you get a good look, I think. Here, let me hop up on here. Get a really good look at what that looks like with that arena style layout to it. Gives a lot of room to a lot of portals in a fairly accessible way in a fairly small space. And it just looks cool. So that's a great job. Then we have this lovely stone bridge that crosses over this gully here into the main part of town. You can see more of the stone walls here. Here's a slightly different look. Now we have these large blocks that are surmounted by stake wall to give it a nice defensive look. Really like that. Okay. So we come down into town and there's a lot to see here. Several different buildings. So we'll start here with the closest one. This is the Three Shields Foods and Tavern. And this is primarily a cooking and refreshment area with lots of great decoration inside. Somebody's laid out a pretty good meal. Ooh, all the serpents do. Wow. I'm not quite ready for serpent stew myself. I need to build something I don't have the materials for, but I'm getting close to that. And here we have various ingredients, meats, vegetables, crops, and here are some pre-made meals. These are for health, stamina, and different kinds of meats. Not too different than the way I have it laid out. Here's your cooking station. There's a lot more upgrades in this one than I have. Oh, look. Stone oven. That's pretty. So they're a little bit ahead of me. We got little bits of storage all over the place. This is the mead bar part. It appears. Okay. Lots of storage up here. This one. Oh, that's weird. Not sure how I can able to open that because that's a personal chest. But miracles can happen. Over here we're doing the brews. Okay, very nice. Let's take a look upstairs. Ah, some more ingredients up here. More brewing going on. Ingredients and so forth everywhere. This is great. Now this is actually the private bedroom of one of the early builders here in the community, so I'm not going to disturb this person, but this is where they're staying, right here in town. Inside the community building. And that's okay. Ooh. There's that secret chest on the floor. Oh, no, I see. That's the top of the food chest from downstairs. You can grab the food from up there. That's convenient. Somebody who might be living up there. So, here we go. This is the community mead hall and food cooking place. Really quite nice. Lots of room for little celebrations, plenty of foods to eat. Yeah, it's pretty slick. I like this cool arrangement of frost meads there on the table. It gives it a nice, just a nice look, I guess, is what I'd say about that. Interesting art installation around the bonfire there. Free dessert. This was part of a little celebration that was held at the end of the Val-Con conference a couple weeks back. Okay. They've got one of these dolmens right here in town. These are always kind of cool looking. I usually try to leave them in standings because they just provide an interesting look. You can get a little shelter underneath one if you want to. Look at that. I'm getting rested buff here right underneath the dolmen. Okay, and here's one of the little garden fields that we've got here in town. Before the wall went up, a lot of this was protected by fences, but it looks like the fences were removed once the outer walls went up. Might be some locals they would still want to protect against. We'll have to see. We've got carrots, we've got onions. Yeah. Pretty advanced stuff. Oh, over here we have some serious carrot growth. Birds trying to steal our crops. And here are the bees stuck down on the ground. Okay. Let's see what's going on over here. Well, this is the boar pen. All right. So inside here, it's good to keep these doors closed. Ooh, look at that. So we have apparently tamed 2-star boars. Well, that's fantastic. Now, these pits have been created. Generally, the concept there is that you want to put the boars in their dinner, right? You want to put the boars in there pretty close together so that they'll breed. But you also want to have multiple pens so that you can breed at a higher rate, because there's a limit to how many boars will spawn within a certain area. I forget what that limit is. I want to say it's something like 6 or 8 or whatever. Let's see what we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 inside here. 1 wandering around outside. We've got 5 in here, so maybe that limit is 5. Not real sure. Can I get you back in the pen? I can. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, over here we've got 5. So it looks like 5 might be the limit for these little pens here. And then when that limit is hit, you get down in there with your butcher knife, or you turn on friendly fire and you slaughter your boar. I don't see a butcher knife here. Let's see. Oh wait, there it is. Right. So I'm not going to slaughter any boar. Somebody's managing it. That's fine. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Nice layout. I almost feel like there's going to be something underneath this wooden floor section right here. But not going to try and find out. So that's an interesting design, that long low building. You'll notice that the windows have been very tightly covered. This is to prevent access to bats who might get in here and slaughter our creatures. We don't want that. Okay. Too bad. Oh, I like that with the little gate grating type thing there to make it look like the water's flowing in and out. I was going to say, too bad we can't have boars out here. They'd love a wallow in that little mud pit there. But they'd probably start eating our crops. Boars do like carrots. Oh, we got onion seeds, turnip seeds, carrot seeds. Very nice. Let's see. Let's start over here at community storage. This is quite a new building. It's only built within the last week or so. And this is a major storage area using the ironbound chests. So there's going to be a lot of room. And, it's arranged according to some pattern, I suppose. Wood, stones, metals, sticky goo. Yes, sticky goo and resin. Yeah, creature parts. So, oh, what a lovely little crafting area. Yeah, I really like this one. The way this is laid out, it looks realistic, like somebody could actually be working back in here. And the person who built this has managed to find a place to put those bellows. Remember that back at my place, I have been unable to place the bellows because, well, it just won't let me. Yeah, this is a good layout. What a nice level 7 forge, which at the moment I can't match in my home building. Nice. These are dump chests. I think I prefer calling these, drop-off chests or something. Not dumping thing. This is done by biome, so you put the materials in there that way. It helps pre-sort them. The great thing about dump chests is it lets you unload your stuff very quickly. The not so great thing about dump chests is if you don't have somebody who's constantly coming in here and sweeping the materials out of the dump chest and into the main storage, things just pile up in there and then no one can find them. So, it takes some discipline to have those. In a lot of my worlds, I don't tend to use them. I want to force myself to put things away. Now here's an interesting trick. There's a couple of portals here called Storage 1 and Storage 2. And the idea is if you're out in the field, gathering a bunch of materials, you can quickly throw down a portal, open it up there to Storage 1 or Storage 2, and immediately get yourself into the storage area where you can quickly leave materials behind you. This helps a lot if you, for example, are overloaded with too many materials. You need to quickly dump them off. There you go. I've seen that used to great effect in other worlds. Oh yeah, there's another one of those little drain openings. I'm liking this design a lot. This, the wall design. Yeah. It's simple. It looks defensive, but it's also got an artistic style to it that I really like. Oh, smelting area down here. I don't see any. Oh, nope. The charcoal kiln was at the top of the hill right over there. Ah, and here we have a hot tub. So obviously this is also a comfort area, I'm guessing. Something like that. Okay. Here's the dock. Yeah. That's a good basic dock. This might be an area of growth somebody wants to work on to make a little bit fancier dock. But really, this is an outstanding spot for a dock, by the way. You can see that the way the water is laid out. If we take a look on the map, this is a large bay that intrudes into the central continent here. And so this is like one of the most perfect places to set a dock because you have easy access in just about every direction to get quickly into the water and sail away. So yeah, maybe something a little bit more designed and built up how you're in the dock. This is a great opportunity. I like to see opportunities for community members to come and add new builds and show off their talents, because that's kind of what it's all about. Anyway, let's finish up here with the last building. This is also one of the original buildings, the community blacksmith. And this was where items were being stored prior to building that new community storage. It's also a comfort area and kind of a lot of different things. Meads and meals are now in the tavern, so apparently there used to be cooking facilities. Well, there are cooking facilities here, but this used to be where a lot of the food was stored, and that moved over to the tavern at a later point. Got some great storage here. I would imagine most of this is now empty because this has all been moved. Oh yeah, it says so right on the sign. Read the sign, you fool. Move to the new storage building. Okay. Yep, more crafting stuff. Black Forge coming soon. I hope not too soon. Give us a chance. Okay. Ah, the map table. Now, for a variety of reasons, I generally do not use the cartography table in this game. It's not just that I might have different... Well, a lot of it comes down to the markers that people use. I have my own style of marking things. Other people will have different styles. It is really confusing for me personally when I have to deal with markers that use a different style from me, where you're using, let's say, maybe you're using this marker right here to indicate, let's say, an instance, a cave where you're going underground or something. That doesn't convey that information to my mind, and I struggle with that. So I find it very difficult to accept other people's information from the cartography table. I wouldn't mind getting their exploration, their land clearance. Unfortunately, the way this table works, you can't do that. You get everything, the markers and the land clearance, or you get nothing at all. Now, sure, you can go through and remove the markers one at a time, but that very quickly becomes quite tedious. So, up here, this is a dormitory where a lot of people had their first bed, and a lot of people still do. Some of these people have moved out to their own bases and so forth, but this is a great place for new players to come along and get themselves a bed. Have a comfortable place to stay, have the facilities to build and repair your tools, and to enjoy the benefits of having all these supplies in community. What is that? Oh, that's a serpent trophy. Yes, I know who built that. Okay. So this gives you a good idea. This is not the largest or most complex community I've ever had, but it's a really nice, cozy one. It's got all the stuff you need. It's got food. It's got storage. It's got uh, a supply of crops. It's got a supply of boar. Um, it's got crafting areas, and it's got a portal hub. And it's a really attractive build with all these different structures. And now that it has walls around it, it's much better defended. We've had some problems with raids coming in here and heavily damaging the community site. This is a real interesting location too. You can see that the Black Forest is just right over there. So we're hardly deep in the meadows here. We're sort of in a little shred of meadows that hangs out on the end of this peninsula here. I'm gonna have to update my map. There's a new building here that I didn't add. But yeah, you can see there's a large area of Black Forest up that way. And then you've got easy access out to the open ocean to go to all these other places that are as yet undiscovered by me. So it's a really nice layout. And I want to thank everybody who has contributed in any way to the building of this community. Everybody's efforts are valuable and appreciated. And thank you all for being a part of this community and contributing to it in any way that you do. So let's go find my portal. Actually, this is kind of the long way. I like to sort of take the little shortcut back here. Seeing some of the names of the folks that are part of this community. I like the way that little hanging thing for the brazier is done. That's nice. I feel cold. Well, that's probably because it's nighttime. I always just look for Eek there in the window. How I found my portal. What was that loud bump I just heard? Not sure. Let's see if I can sleep. There you go. Good morning. Okay. Oh, Skippy's all frightened again. Skippy. So, I thought what I might do next is just take a look and see how my bridge is coming along. You may recall that I was building a bridge here across the river that leads from the northern area with the best Ichthir site down to the Forsaken site, and then ultimately that leads down toward the community site. And got the bridge built during last week's stream. But I knew there was a lot of work left to do. So let's see what's going on. This portal's been moved around a little bit. Ooh, still pretty dark. But anyway, since last week, what I did is I went back over this and rebuilt the roof and extended it out so that it overhangs on each side and a little bit off the end as well. This is the same style of overhanging roof that I used on my home base. And it gives it a nicer look. It feels, I think, a little bit more finished. I also added railings here along in this area like that, so that when you're walking down the bridge, it's not simply open to the floor on each side. It makes you feel like you want to leap out to your doom. Have not yet gotten any more Surtling trophies, so I can't can't add more lighting here, because remember, we're trying to prevent the bridge from becoming a base by not placing any base items here, which being things like um, workbenches. I have done some work on the roadways leading out of the bridge on each side. This one's rather dramatic. It's a stairway leading up the slope because the slope is so steep. And in a little while, I'll show you how this is built. It's obviously got some ways to go, practically carving it through the solid rock there. And on the other side, always love running down these bridges with that perspective. On the other side, I have done some work on the terrain here as well, smoothing it out. It may be hard to remember because this was all a lot bumpier leading up here. And I came over the crest. I still want to do some more digging there. And then we have a second bridge that we need to build to replace the little footbridge that's way over there. That one there. Ooh, hang on a second. Ooh. Hello. So yeah, we're going to replace this this little footbridge down here with one that's a little bit more in line with where we're going. I do not want that. Thank you. So, probably somewhere here, I think. Ideally, just straight across there. At a somewhat higher level, so it's actually going to be a fairly substantial bridge like that one is, but maybe not covered this time. Not sure. Anyway, I do kind of want to cut down this hill a little, make a pathway through there that is going to be at a lower level. Okay. Looks like the sun's coming up. Let's see here. Yeah, we do have some wood here. Let me grab a little wood. I'll take it across the other side, show you how I'm building that stairway. It's actually quite simple. Okay. So the first thing you got to do, put down a workbench. That could be a little bit tricky. I gotta get it there. Excuse me while I take care of this guy. Come on. Thank you. I do need. Did I get it? There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn on my lights so we can see better. Yeah. Now, this is really fairly simple, as I said. What I basically do is I build the next section of stairway, and it just kind of disappears into the terrain. Then get out pickaxe, start chopping. And this will kind of expose more of the stairway. Get up here and chop a little bit more here too. It's okay if I hit the stairs a little bit, that's fine. Then what I'll usually do is then switch to the hoe and do a little ground leveling like that. There, see? Stairway's now fully exposed. And then we can kind of rinse and repeat the same action again. Another chunk of stairway. A little bit more pickaxe. What's going to happen is eventually this is going to stop climbing and level out a bit, and the stairwell will emerge from here. It can't keep going forever unless it's going up a mountain, which we are not. So, kind of try to get the edges first. Get that reasonably cut back. Middle a little bit. Okay. Alright, let's give it another whirl. Try a little bit more ground leveling. That didn't do very much, so pickaxe it a bit. Just trying to get this exposed, but also trying to sort of minimize the amount of terrain changes that are occurring here. Not so much that I'm worried about changing the terrain, but it acts like a sort of a scar on the land. Let's keep it at least reasonable. Not much we can do with this steep hill. It's going to be a bit of a mess, but you know, doesn't have to be a disaster zone. Okay. And then periodically, I'm going to come down here and switch to this piece. Just add a little bit of a edging along there so that it feels finished. I'm not going to cover up this section. One thing, it's really a pain to cover up a slope like this. You can do it. It works more or less the same as covering a flat area, but it's annoying. So let's not be doing that if we don't have to. Hey, this one's already almost exposed. You can see it looks like we're just about to crest the hill a little bit here. I don't know how much longer we'll have to use the stairway. We might be able to switch to a more conventional trail type thing. Which would be easier and quicker. Okay, let's get some more stairs. That out of there. Yeah, see, one little click of that, and it's good. Maybe get that out. Yeah, doesn't really take very much to tidy this up. Okay, nope. This again. Okay. Go. Let's go upstairs. This might be the one that emerges. Let's see here. There's actually a strawberry patch up there. A raspberry. Always called it strawberry. I'm trying not to hit that one if I can avoid it. That would be less than ideal. Okay. So if we go for another stairwell, well, yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, this knob up here is still pretty steep. We might have to keep going for a bit. Okay. Let's that back a little bit. Sometimes you can just get away with doing nothing but the leveling. There you go. How's that? See how far we can get with just leveling it. Not bad. Let's go back and put trim on this stuff. Gonna have to move the workbench again. One thing you can see about this is that all of these stairs, they're all blue because they're all in contact with the ground all the way up. So never any question of support issue. We're not trying to create a gap across an opening with this stairwell. Okay. Let's check our wood supply. A little low. We'll go back for some more. Anymore. Oh, speaking of wood. this opportunity to fix my tools up. Stuff. Slowly rebuilding my stone supply there that got so depleted by building that bridge. Ooh, oops. Now, it may surprise you to discover that you can actually bring a cart up this stairwell. It looks like steps, but in the actual underlying physics of the game, this is a slope. And yes, you can pull a cart up here. Can't be real heavy, but you can do it. Okay. Okay. Once again, let's see how far we get with just, okay. Well, uh-oh. Now we're in this type of situation. Okay. So now the leveling part didn't go so well. So let's get out the pickaxe and go at it again. And it's okay if you hit the stairs a little bit. You can just repair them. So if I hit here, yeah, I'm actually hitting the stone, not the stairs. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get this up here. Maybe take a little bit of... Let's try this. Coming in just a touch below it. Nope. That's better. Yeah. And yeah, it's starting to get a little fussy here. There we go. Okay. We're definitely getting close to the top. We're gonna have to take this tree out. Oh. Any loose stone? Oh, don't fall that way. Look at that. Well. That's annoying. That's what I was trying to avoid. There we go. Okay. You have to hit every stair on the way down. Is that the line? Okay. It's going to get damaged by the weather eventually anyway, but I have to get it that way from the start. Okay. Let's see. Come on. All right. Yes, that's good. Oh, we're just about to crest the top here. Let's see here. Yes. I think this might be the one. good. Yeah. All right, let's put the trim on it. Now, we can get up here, get ourselves the same level as the top of the stairs, approximately here. And I'm going to aim this at the circle is right at the top of the stairs. See how this does. Okay, how's this look? Well, here, let's turn the lights on. Oh, actually, that looks outstanding. That's exactly what I want. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Good. Okay, we have reached the top. Now we don't need this guy anymore. So, now what we want to do is figure out where to go from here. Before we just start bashing our way through. So let's see where this leads. Now essentially what we want to end up doing is coming over to the Ichthyr site. And I'm sort of curving to my left while staying on the higher side of this other slope here. Because that's the route that leads over to Ichthyr. This doesn't have to be anything fancy. We can just make this a rough path. Just to guide people in. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, the other thing we should do, I imagine, is remark the bridge on our map. So let's do that now. We got night coming on here. You know what? Let's instead go back to the base. Sleep through the night. And hope for not rain. All the wood. Good morning. Day 822. We should plan a celebration for when we hit day 1000. The sound of that. I think I said something about not rain. Okay. So how do we do this with the bridge? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand at its starting point based on the pillar, not the edge of the roof. And I'm going to zoom into the map here. So first of all, I'm going to remove all this. It's the old bridge marker. And that is gone now. So I'll put a dot right here at the start. There's one end, and I won't put any text on that. I'm going to run. Wait a minute. Actually count the squares here. 6, 40. Okay. So I'll stand right here at the other end. And I will put center to me another dot. Great. Then I will go and put another dot. Okay. And this is the center point of the bridge. I'll put a dot here. I'll also put the text bridge. Not exactly in the center, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. And then I'll kind of eyeball some more in between dots. Mark out the total bridge. And there we go. That measures the actual bridge length. It doesn't count the walkway at the other, but that's fine. So now we have a pretty clear picture of where the bridge is. If we zoom out a little bit, see it forms a nice little marker across there. Okay. So now, hello, what are you doing here? Come on. Now let's think about pathway at the other end. We didn't pick up any wood. We shouldn't need any wood. Yeah, this is all going to get damaged by the rain. Oh well. So, we're essentially heading more or less this way. But if you recall when we were actually walking it, the path was more of a curve like that. So we're just going to kind of follow the high ridge here. Something like this. Some lights on it. Okay, let's go here. Not level. I want path in. Well, no. You know what? I think I need to get another tool. Black pudding does not last very long. Because I made a little bit of a mistake there. I want to undo the path that I cut. Easy enough. Just get yourself a cultivator and put the grass back. Of course, a cultivator. Where's my rested? Stop a minute and get myself rested. There we go. Eventually we'll want to get one of those circling trophies on the gable end of the bridge. Show you the way inside. Okay. Rats. All right. Let's try this again. We'll do it better this time. I think what we want to do is go up this way, so rain is certainly not helping things, but oh well, what do we do? Let's see. This will work. Yeah, this is fine. Maybe take this tree out. It's not critical. Up a little bit. That'll do. I did say a rough path. Kind of slide between the trees here. Not averse to taking out trees when they're in the way. Stop that. Yaks. But I'm also not averse to leaving them. They're not actually in the way, and they provide a little decorative value. These little guys. Let's see, we're heading that away, so we're going to kind of dip down into that little part there. Oh, I'm using the wrong tool here. That's why it's not moving a path. Bucket bill on the other side. Yeah, this rain's really annoying. Probably take these rocks out before I'm done here. Just like toe catchers in the path. Then I'm gonna turn and go up over here. Something like this. Yep. Head this way. Try to find relatively level ground to cross these types of paths. It doesn't have to be perfect, but imagine that you're rolling a cart and so forth. See how this will look when the rain stops. If it ever does. How'd we do? Yeah, could have been worse. Could have been rain. Oh, wait, it was. All right. Just tidy up the edges of the path a little bit. More or less. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to take this tree out. Put you here, but not yet using that at the moment. So, let's go there. Get it fall right on my stuff. Maybe not. Kinda did. Look at that. Oh no, the raspberries. Throw down a bench here. Now, I'm trying to repair the rain damage, but these might have gotten rain damage by the log falling on them. Okay. All right. Follow the path. Yeah, let's take it out. Not other trees. No, I said other trees. Thank you. Oh, look at that. A little bit of grass there. Okay. Turn corner. Open this out. Now let's make a sprint over toward the destination. Notice how the place that gets turned into brown land doesn't actually align with the circle of the marking for the hoe. Something to be wary about using Athens. Okay. We'll just sort of end it here. Doesn't really have anywhere to go after this at this time. Future, somebody may build something. Struggling a little bit with stamina here, as usual. Sure would be nice if this would actually path in the area enclosed by the circle rather than some random area just next to it. Valheim developers. These. These paths never come out perfect. Fiddle with them, fiddle with them, fiddle with them. They just get wider, and then you put the grass back, and then that's too narrow, and then you take it away again, and it's still wrong. And, you must accept imperfection in this type of work. Oh dear. Stamina. Come on. I have a rested buff. I don't see why the stamina's might be somewhere. Probably as good as it's gonna be, maybe. All right. Gonna call that good. Now run back to the other end and do some thinking about the other bridge. Yep. That is going to be an interesting job. What would make sense probably would be to build another one of those stairways here leading down and put the bridge at a lower level rather than trying to cut this back too much. And the best way to do that is to build the bridge first and then build the stairway up from it. Yeah, that's going to be a big job. Not really looking to do something like that just now. So I may save that until next time, or do some of the preliminary work offline. Is that terrain digging? It's good to know how to do it. A little tedious to watch for hours on end. Okay, let's fix everything. Where is the hole? It is in number 6. I still not found another honeybee. We'll keep on looking. Don't really have a shortage of them. Lots of honey. So, let's see here. Great. A little low on food. Not terribly. Do a little more cooking. So there's an upgrade to my cooking facility, this prep table. Now, I don't quite have the materials to make this. I have the fine wood, I have the leather, I don't have the iron. Also, I'm not quite sure where I want to put it. And you may recall I wanted to put a different kind of fireplace here and increase our comfort. So why don't we work on that? So I am going to Break the cauldron. Break the mead kettle. The cooking stations. And the fireplaces. Should have slept before I did that. Tell you what. I'm thinking that enemies are nearby thing. Ah! We have somebody else online. Okay, we're not going to be able to sleep. I could ask, I'm sure, but that's all right. Okay, so now, let's see. I forget how much stone I need for this. It's 18 or 20. The thing I want to build is 15. Okay. Oh, it needs a stone cutter. Okay. Now I have a stone cutter. Where did I put it? Oh, what am I talking about? I got stone cutters all over the place. Or I might have. Yes, I do. Let's see how this goes. What am I missing? Wood. Very too much. Just too much. Okay. Stick this here. So let's see. Oops. Wrong thing. Okay. Let's see how this is going to fit now. Question I will have is if I put it this way, is some of the smoke going to come inside? Let's see here. Some light on this up. Yeah, you see, so the rear stone border is inside the fireplace. I could switch to custom placement and push it back so that that's all the way inside. Like that. See how this looks from the outside of the building. Ah. Yeah. It's not amazing. Alright. How am I going to deal with that? Okay. I think what I'm going to need to do is widen this up just a bit. Because it fits the other way, right? It's width-wise doesn't stick out. But on this side, no, it's fine. So it's only, I should say, lengthwise it fits. It's width-wise it doesn't. Okay, so I need to make this fireplace a little wider. Let's see here. Just a little bit wider. Toss this metal about my weight situation. So what I want. Just a wee bit wider. That will do, but I kind of want to go even less. Let's see. Let's see here. That. Then, like that. Uh-huh. Cross. That. Might be just what I want. put the poles in. There. Yeah, you see how just a little bit wider than it was? Okay. Let's see how the hearth fits in there. Ah. Now, you're going to stick out the back? No. Nice. Okay. Okay. Now, what are we going to do about the walls here? Not exactly right. Oops. Yep. It is. Where is it? Wait a minute. No, it's not. Let's see here. That looks better. Well, not perfect. Okay. Great. So it's kind of a little bit open up there. What if... Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get up there. Yeah. A little worried about rain leaking down. Fire out. Huh. Okay. I almost want is like a... Huh. There's a problem. Let's see. Yes. There. Put you there. But also put you here. It won't really be visible from the ground. It's covered both ways around. Yeah. I'll buy that for $1. Okay. Now, let's test. Light her up and see whether or not the smoke goes up the chimney. Not here into the building. Looks pretty good. Okay. So now we can get the wait. Now we can get the cauldron in in there. I'm going to pull it a little bit forward so it's easier to reach around here. And the meat kettle. Same deal. Pull that a little bit forward. Then my cooking stations. Probably only going to put 2 in here. I'm doing a lot less of this, so I don't need that many. Okay. Meat kettle. Cauldron. Now. Don't need you anymore. That lets me get the iron back in storage. Now the mead kettle needs prep table that I was originally built. It needs 5 iron, which I don't have. Where am I going to put you? I wonder if I can put it this far over. Missing requirement. I could. Might mean I have to move those guys, but that's not disastrous. Yep. Well. Wool skewers. Needs level 3. Level 3 is what that prep table will give us. So, we need some more iron for that, and probably for some other things, some upgrades I want to do. Oh, of course I want to make iron axe, iron pickaxe. Upgrade my mace a little bit more. Yeah. A lot of things I want to get done here. So, let's see if we have more iron available. Okay. Right. Some food. Okay. The script we're on is not marked as completed. Is the door open? No. Let's go get the key, open the door. Clear the crypt. There's another one to the south we can do. Then we can let's go. Pretty far cry from our first venture into crypts. We got into our difficulties with that 1-star Draugr Archer. Not that that Draugr Archer would be a pushover these days, but sure wouldn't be the same difficulty, right? So, this way doesn't go anywhere. And this way doesn't go anywhere. Wow. Well, all our hopes are on this one path. I've seen that before. Seems like you're not going to get anything, and then suddenly the one path turns into the round that you can't get through. poison me. Classic me. But bring along any poison me. Come on. Well, let's get in here. Yeah. Let's get out here. We'll bring back some poison. Just because I have the mask. Yeah, I don't want poison mead. Because poison can still kill you. It's a sneaky thing. It comes up on you, not paying attention. Next thing you know, you're dead. I'm just kidding. And, oh, guess I'm dead too. That's probably enough to be getting on with. Yeah, we're doing I probably have enough yellow mushrooms, come to think of it. Whoopee. Thank you. Not hearing any body piles so far. Or that sound of insects buzzing. Some on. Spectacular so far. Running out of ways to go here. seemed to be it. How'd we do? Not very good. Okay, a little better than I thought, but still very low for the crypt. Usually expect to, or hope to get something like 60. That's well below average. Key again. Move the action down to that other crypt. So, that. This token. That one. That token. Mark that off. Use a little wood. Let's see. Let people know that's done. This way. Not bad. See if I can pick all this stuff up. Look at it all. Looks like. Great. Let's head to the next crypt. Hello. Ah. Already have a bench up on this one. Okay. Let's save me a little bit of wood. Is it? No. Somebody has an unnamed portal on the server. We try to avoid that for exactly that reason. Avoid that it opens up. No, that's the wrong portal. Try that again. There we go. Okay. Couple minutes left on the poison mead. Let's see what we got. Oh my god. Okay, the last the last script was a miracle compared to this one. Look at that. 30 coins and some yellow mushrooms. And that is all. Oh, Lord, that's terrible. Wow. I've seen as bad as that before, but it's always a bit of a shock when you encounter it. RNG, man. RNG. Okay. So let's think a little bit about getting our stuff home. We have the boat dock here. Could bring the boat into the shore over there. But I'm tracking blueberries anymore. And no need to track copper up here. Yeah. Well, very disappointing. Let's grab that. I can drop all that off. Pick it up later through the portal. Let's see here. Night's coming on. What could go wrong? No, not the axe. Where's my shield? Oh, got a star. Special Skelly. Huh? There we go. That a log somebody has left behind. Terrible. Terrible. Okay. Here's another log. Oh my god, a stump. What is wrong with people? Probably somebody fighting an abomination. Possibly me. I'm usually pretty good about cleaning up stumps. Oh, hello. No stamina. Gotta be careful here. It's nighttime. I could get a wraith up my back. As I recall, there's bears and some trolls that like to spawn back in here. Yeah. It's gonna be fine. What? I'm not be tracking blueberries anymore. Maybe I don't want them. There's a troll. Turns out I really don't want the blueberries. Well, I can do community. big baddies about. Put that in the chest there. Go get my boat. So, at night. Oh, pick up some serpent. All this for 22 iron seems a little silly. Ouch. What's up? No. Okay. Well, let's put the boat in the water first. Oh. Oh, hello. I take my claws off? I did. Workbench. There we go. Oh, this way. There we go. Okay. Let's try backing out. Bad angle. Rock there. This way. Let's see. Nope. And we're off. I could eat another bite. Yes, I could. Okay. In the ocean at night with rain. Definitely serpent weather. Grip the bow. Pointed arrows are probably as good as any. Oh, it's not raining. Okay, well, it's still night. The percentage is not nearly as high. Uh-huh. Doesn't need to be. There it is. Slap the bow. Shoot the serpent. Try to shoot the serpent. Oh, we'll take a fair amount of this damage. Missed. Yeah. Oh, got him. Got him. Now, try and do is jump in just as the serpent is dying. And if it drops a trophy, a decent chance of picking it up. Go. Got the meat. Didn't see a trophy. How much meat did I get? 7. Oh dear. That was close. I should carry it there. Get hired for that. Yeah. Serpents drop either 6 or 7 pieces of meat. End of chance. So. Yeah. There we go. Serpent meat. And about 1 out of 3 drops a trophy. Actually quite a common trophy. The problem is you usually lose it because it falls into the water. If you can jump just as it's dying and fall through the explosion of its drops, you will pick up the trophy. Occasionally you even get some scales that way. Well, they drop much faster. If you really want a trophy, the best way is to haul the serpent to the shore. That usually requires a harpoon, although there are other ways. Okay, where are we headed here? We're headed here. We're headed. About right. Serpents quite often appear behind you. This is because they're spawning on the very bottom of the ocean. It takes them a little bit of time to get to the top. So you typically sail past by the time they pop out. Stay up. Never mind. In that case, I'll stay with you. Now you will occasionally see serpents during the day. What's happening there is that serpent spawned during the storm. So serpents that spawn at night, whether by storm or dark or whatever, disappear in the morning of the day. Unless they're actively engaged in combat, sometimes even. Serpents that spawn during a daytime storm, however, do not disappear. And you can find them days and days later. Still hanging about. Call those day serpents, because you really get to see what they look like. They're quite pretty. Nice dark blue with this red frill running down their back. It's a beautiful animal. There. Pretty good. Serpent meat is very large, very heavy, but it can be carried in stacks of 50 even when cooked. It provides substantial help. It's just so freaking heavy, it's usually not worth carrying. Much better to save that meat and use it to make serpent stew. You do need to cook it first, so all serpent meat is always cooked. And it requires the large cooking station that I haven't built yet. Maybe now I can, bringing in this massive quantity of 22 iron. Wow. There's my place. I can't even see anything. Oh, there it is. There Maybe try and clear out some of these rocks. Not easy to do. Usually helps quite a bit. Oh, why did you stop? Did I hit a rock in front? See a rock in front. A rock up front. Oh yes, there's indeed a rock up front. Okay, let's see. Sure, off the rock. Silence. Come on, get off the rock. There we go. Go. Stamina. Okay. Get through now. Last time I did this, I think I had a car or something. I don't know. Really, I clear these rocks away. Or take a different angle into the dock. Oh, you still getting hung up on that rock? Come on. You gotta be kidding me. No. It's still hung up. Push. 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 Do this little mini pushes. Yep, there we go. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without pushing the boat off. Get on the boat with the ladder. It doesn't impart any movement to it. So it doesn't drift away. Okay. Neat. Put this one up here. Yeah, look how heavy this is. 70 pounds for 7 pieces of meat. Unbelievable. You see them on the cooker, you'll understand. They're absolutely huge. Okay. Didn't really need the yellow mushrooms. Some meats. That's what we want. Meat. Hide. Wood. Specialty wood. No. Wood. Regular wood. Oh, that's cool. Resins. Yep. Parts for bones. Yep. More wood. Sort of overflow wood. And out here. Yep. Fix everything. Oh. Don't forget to tear down the boat. You don't want them to do it. That's empty. sure I got enough weight and space. Did I get it? Yep. Wait a minute. I store it out here. What am I doing? I place these carefully in order to keep the pine wood and the deer hide from mixing together for the different boats. Okay. Look at that. 14 whole iron. So that means we can now make the prep table, but it also, let's see. Yes, and yes. So if I gather together these two guys, I can make this. This is the iron cooking rack, and it's required to cook the serpent stew. So, question is where to put it. It's a fire. Could do it here, maybe. Right here. Yeah. Work. Shouldn't get in the way of anything. Okay. So to build that, I'm gonna need some more stone. We'll see why. Some wood. And let's see if I'm in range for everything. So I need to build hearth. Yeah, stick that in the wall. That's fine. And then take a cooking rack and put it up there. Now here's a neat trick to try. Put the cooking rack down first. Then the hearth underneath it, like so. Not perfectly centered, good enough. And there you go. Now it's lower down. Then build the fire. There you go. Now if we want to keep this from going out in the rain, we can put some roofing over it. Really? Not enough wood? There. Okay. Let's go get that serpent meat. Cook it. This will give us access to this recipe. One thing I would warn you about this cooking rack and the serpent meat when playing in multiplayer, this cooking rack has a reputation for losing items, just disappearing. My best advice is fill it slowly, deliberately. Click, 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 not click, 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 click. Don't do that. Fill it slowly, and when it's done cooking, remove it slowly. Do that persistently. Always do it slowly. You'll probably never lose an item. Now, we don't need the prep table for this thing. I'm going to take down all of these to make space. Let's do this. What was it? Another scratch. Up, 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 up. Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly. 1, 2. Okay. Other scraps. 15. Let's see. Will this be close enough to upgrade? Oh. No. All right. Here. Let's go and block the mead kettle. But yet, no. What the? Hang on a minute. Let me think about this. Ah! I know what the problem is. Prep table is not an upgrade for the cauldron. It's its own thing. Separate. Separate thing. So, let's see. Nothing. Okay. Let's do this. Just wait for space. Wait. Let's put the table here. Then screws. Here, here. Oh. Wood. I once had the wood over there in the other chest. Keep running in that direction. Cramp these in here. Put this chest here. Okay. So now the food prep table. Oh look, I can make raw fish using the fish I've caught. Really found. All right. Now let's see what I got here. There we are. Serpent stew. Serpent stew is one of the best mid-game foods. It remains valuable for a long time. Look at that. Health of 80. Duration 30 minutes. And other than the serpent meat, which is something that takes quite a bit of effort to get, it's just mushrooms and honey, the ingredients we have in plenitude. Let's make some serpent stew. I need mushrooms and I need honey. Nice. So now we will be hunting serpents assiduously here on out. And if we can start to get more than a full stack available, it will become one of our standard foods. Until then, we'll use it for special occasions, but we're definitely going to be going out for serpents. I like to get black soup off of my menu because it just doesn't last very long, only 20 minutes. Oh. Cool. So, once again, our base expands. A bit more iron. Yes, I do. Having made all of that, what do I have left? I have 14 whole pieces of iron. Wow. Is that enough to do anything with? Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's not enough to make any of the new items I want, like iron pickaxe, not even. Iron axe, don't tell. How about upgrades? Iron mace, nope. Okay, so we need a lot more iron, and based on what we know, it appears that this swamp is done, exhausted. So, we can go up there and retrieve our portal, pull down the other pieces, search for more swamps. This swamp over here by the elders probably been exploited pretty thoroughly. But I do see bone mass here. Bone mass is in a swamp. And usually, not always, but usually, a swamp that contains bone mass is a pretty good sized swamp, which means plenty of crypts. So I think that's where I'm going to head to next. Not sure if other people have been up to that swamp and cleared it out. It's possible. But we're definitely going to head up that way. And try for some more iron. Be doing that in the... I'm going to say in a future stream, because I don't know what the actual schedule will be. Keep my smelters ready to go. That was wrong. Yeah, there's 16 iron. Still not enough. Better than 14. Okay. Else can we upgrade? Just looking ahead. I know one thing we wanted to build. I'm pretty sure I can't. I don't even have the recipe yet. Let's take a look. There's a particular weapon I want to use for the bone mass fight. And it's an iron sledge. No, I don't have it here. So what do you need to make an iron sledge? We need truckloads of iron. We don't have truckloads. We need some sort of wood, some sort of hide, I think. But you need two special things. You need Ymir flesh. This is something we purchased from the vendor, from Haldor. We need more than that 7. I think we probably do. We have a fair amount of money over there. You also need a trophy, a particular trophy, a Draugr Elite trophy. They're a pretty rare drop. You can go through 20 Draugr Elite, maybe get one. I have not been through 20 Draugr Elite. Good way to farm Draugr Elite trophies is to find a body pile, and then don't destroy it, but instead stand there next to the body pile, continually battling whatever comes out. It's risky, because you can get multi-star Draugr coming out of that body pile. Get a 2-star Draugr Archer, very dangerous. You can get a 1 or even a 2-star Draugr Elite, super dangerous. Regrettably, having stars does not increase the chance of the Draugr Elite dropping the trophy. That's just a base chance. It's the same for all Draugr Elites. Draugr Elites are bigger, faster, hit harder, and have a slightly better attack protocol. Their evasion and so forth is a little better. They're not easy. One of the best ways to deal with them is to try and find a body pile where you can set yourself up from a position up in the, up above, and you can shoot them with arrows, and they can't get you. Works very well, but those types of situations aren't easy to find. They're very rare inside of a sunken crypt because there's just usually no higher spot. They don't really occur in the standard body piles inside the groups of stones. Best chance is to find one of the body piles that's located in a ruined tower. Another possibility is to find a Draugr village, which exists in the meadows, not in the swamps. And they will have many body piles inside of them and good chances to get up high. So that's another way to do it. Anyway, gonna go looking for that Draugr Elite trophy. I believe I only need the one. Plus some quantity of Ymir flesh. And then lots and lots and lots of iron. But this is a extremely powerful weapon that makes the bone mass fight almost trivial. It makes it bone mass easier to battle in some respects than Eikthyr. That's saying something. Certainly easier than the Elder. Certainly easier than Motor and all the later bosses. So, yeah. Bone Mass used to be quite a frightening boss until I learned this technique. Now, I could use my Stag Breaker in the same way. If I was going to do that, I'd probably want to bring 2, because they're going to get worn out. And it just doesn't do the same level of damage. I'd also want to upgrade it to level 4. Which I could probably do. Let's see here. Prepare for the possibility that I might not actually get stuff I need. Ah, right. Yeah, we've been here before. Need that level 5 bench. So, it is possible to maybe do that. The next bench upgrade requires something from the mountain biome. I'm strong enough and equipped enough. I could venture into the mountains for a little bit. Have to be careful. I only need a small number of things from there to make that upgrade. That's possible. I might do that. Where's the nearest mountain? Okay. That's not a real mountain there. That is definitely a real mountain there. There's almost certainly a mountain buried somewhere under there. Probably under there. Maybe under there. So we have several mountains within reasonable proximity to us. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, there's more land here. So, maybe up in this area, go quickly visit a mountain, see if we can find the ingredient we need. However, we need to build the iron pickaxe first, because we need an iron pickaxe to collect this ingredient. So, first things first, find a lot more iron. Hopefully get a Draugr Elite trophy in the process. And then maybe go searching for another upgrade for the workbench, but one way or another end up with the tools we need to defeat opponents. Skills-wise, we're doing okay. Start to see skills exceeding 60, you're on a good trend. Pickaxes, jump, wood cutting, run. Run is usually my first skill to top out. Fists. I need to raise that club skill a little bit. probably enough as it is. It's a question of stamina. See, it's not the damage that you're going to do, but you're going to be sitting there using a stag breaker or a big iron sledge for an entire boss fight. You're going to be smacking against the ground over and over and over. And that is going to drain your stamina real fast. So, the higher the skill level, the less the stamina drain. Dodge. Yeah, I'm so good at dodging. Other skills we might want to look into raising. Swords becomes more important later on. Yeah. Axes becomes a lot more important later on. I mostly use my axe for wood cutting, which is high, but not so much as a weapon, which is very low. So yeah, work to do there. What I could probably do is set up, let's see, where is it? Here. Wig. Wig is a training. Dummy is not probably the right word, but yeah, sort of. And it takes fine wood, bronze nails, and ectoplasm. Ectoplasm? I think we do. Stop that. I think we do. Thought we did. Parts maybe? There it is. Yes. We have ectoplasm. Wig is pretty cool. He's actually a remarkably good opponent. And it's pretty hard. As you practice your weapon skills and your blocking skills and so forth. Yeah. Should probably do that. Tricky part, finding a good spot. Needs some clear space around him. Tends to trigger even when you don't intend it to. Maybe do something with this bench. A twig. Somewhere over here. Maybe. Or? No, it's not enough room here. Maybe over here. Be interesting. Use this for my bow skill. Use twig for my other skills. Yeah. Definitely don't want to put him too close to here because he'll aggro on you when you're just out there farming. Let's see if we can set this guy up. Okay, what do we need? 5, 10, 5. Got it. What was the 10 again? Nails. Okay, twig. Put you, I don't know, here. Now, yeah, look at that. A little attack here. And he hits hard. Oh gosh, I've got no food. That's my problem. Yeah, see, that's going to be a problem. He's going to throw stuff at our building. We need to get him some more space. Okay. Sorry, Twig, you gotta go. Okay. I don't know. Don't want him up on the wall. That's not a good spot. Maybe. Yep. I don't know. Let's think about it. What was that growl? We have a troll out here? Or a bear? Troll. Log troll. Okay. Guess what, Mr. Troll? Yeah, that hurt, didn't it? Trolls aren't really the threat they used to be. Did that with no food. Not the smartest thing, but well. Yeah, troll's scary. Oops. Okay, folks. It has been exciting. Thank you for visiting me on my stream today. Hopefully we'll make a little more progress in our quest for iron next time. Maybe that'd be a good name for next week's stream. The Quest for Iron. Kind of a riff on Quest for Fire, maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, it's been a lot of fun, and please join me the next time.
This Val-Con video is powered by GTX server hosting, the best way to run your Valheim server.